Chinese have done it again because the Chinese abducted Peter Gabriel and replaced him with a double back in 1977, and his music was used to transmit secret messages to sleeper agents embedded in Western countries, and this could be a worldwide catastrophe if we don't stop him now. And he also has ties to Sting, who, as we all know, is an alien, as seen here in a photo taken outside his home around 2004. And the song Salisbury Hill actually refers to the bunker under Salisbury Hill where communist agents are stationed to gather information on innocent people. It all started when Genesis were touring the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway album, and Peter wanted to leave at the end of the tour and pursue a solo career, and so the Chinese thought this would be an opportune time to capture him and replace him with a double, much like they did with Paul McCartney in the 60s. The real Peter's whereabouts is unknown, but I obviously fear the worst for him, and wouldn't be surprised if he was killed immediately after the Chinese got his DNA, recorded his speech patterns, and then sequenced his genome for cloning purposes, as he was now a liability, no longer any use to the CCP. Just look at this picture, it practically taunts you. It's all Chinese, and there's mainland China on the map. He's basically telling you he's a plant, and the title of the song, Games Without Frontiers, it's him saying there's no particular front in the Cold War. They're all around us, there's no barriers, they're just waiting to be activated. Now, people aren't completely oblivious to the fact that he's a double. Lots of people got really suspicious, me included, when the music he released solo wasn't nearly as good as his stuff in Genesis. I immediately thought that someone had got to him, and I was right. However, there's something clever that the Chinese have done, is that they didn't really use a popular mainstream artist at the time, like perhaps Stevie Wonder or Michael Jackson. They deliberately chose fringe artists as they wouldn't have such widespread coverage by the media and whatnot, which meant it was easier for the Chinese to keep up the facade that it was the real Peter Gabriel, as they'd learned their lesson from Paul McCartney. Now, what's the secret messages? It's all inspired from the number stations in China. They've been broadcasting non-stop to agents everywhere, but the Chinese wanted a way to broadcast without being jammed by Western spies. So this shows Peter Gabriel he had a progressive rock background, and so the numbers in this case would be different time signatures he uses, how many measures in each verse, how many different notes in the chorus, etc. And the Chinese agents listening could translate all this and be briefed on any missions, intelligence, or other plots, and would act accordingly. I'm here to blow the whistle on the whole thing and say that I know what you're doing. You're carrying out PSYOPs on us innocent people. We know what's going on. Also, more needs to be investigated on the Gabriel's ties to Sting. I think the Chinese must be in talks with extraterrestrials, which is another big threat. It's been proven time and time again that Sting is an alien. So what do the Chinese want with aliens? Perhaps they're looking to make a base on a celestial body other than Earth, kind of like what the Nazis did on the moon. Come to think of it, they also did stuff with aliens, so everyone be careful. I'm calling a boycott on Peter Gabriel, and the Chinese government needs to answer to all this. I have an extreme suspicion that Peter's broadcasts in fact started this whole COVID pandemic. That's all I have, but stay wary of the Chinese and don't trust them. Thank you.